Hello Year 5, Mr. Hill here, just with a bit of a catch up on what we've been doing in computing so far, or recently even. So we started off with a really basic plan. So this was my plan for my original game that you've all been developing for me. I'm loving seeing some of the work that you guys have done. So this is where I started from. I started with a really rough map of what I wanted the journey to be. And I know you've done exactly the same. So what we're going to do, we're just going to recap the skills that we've been learning. Bear with me while I get my game up and I will share it with you now. Here we are. So here we are in my game. So we've done lots of things with this game. We've added our buttons in. We've linked our pages together. We've put photographs in it. We've added text. I just thought I'd do this video just to give you a little recap of all the skills that we've learned while we've been making these games. So first skill we're going to recap is how to add a new page. So we're down in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. We're going to right-click on the last slide, and that brings up our menu. And we've got a choice of making a new slide or a duplicate. Now, a duplicate slide means it makes one exactly the same, and I don't want that. So I'm going to make a nice, shiny, brand new slide. So here we are. This is my new slide. So I can click here to add my text. So I'm just going to add in Mr. Hill's journey continues. Right, kind of boring, could do with something to add some detail to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a picture. Now, there were two ways we could do this. We can do it this way. So insert a picture from online. So I'm going to go into my search engine, bear with me while it loads, and I'm going to find a picture of, I would like a picture of a tiger. So I'm going to type in the search bar at the top, tiger, and I'm going to press enter to start the search. And here I have lots of pictures of tigers, and I quite like this one here. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to click on it. And once you've clicked on it, there'll be a little tick that appears in the corner here. I then go down to where it says insert, and I press the button there, and that will insert my picture. Now you can see that's gone over my text. So I'm going to need to resize my picture. Now, conveniently rather, there are these little dots around the outside of our picture. So I can reduce it this way, which keeps the scale of the picture the same, or I can reduce it this way, but it kind of squashes the picture up a bit. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to use the corner one, and I'm going to drag it down to here. The next thing we learned how to do was how to add in, whoops, wrong button. Bear with me while I put that back. The next thing we learned how to do was how to add our buttons in. Now that was really simple to do. So we went to insert and we went to shapes. We clicked on the down arrow, and there's a really nice one here under basic shapes, which looks a bit like a button. So when we draw it in, we get our button that we can add our text to. Now I want two of those, so I'm going to draw myself another one. So I'm going to go back to insert, shapes, go back to my button. Now there's a problem. I've got to move my tiger. So I'm going to select my picture for that, and I'm just going to reduce it in size a little bit again. There we go. And my buttons aren't the same size, so I'm going to need to change that slightly so I can get them to match up. There we go. That's better. They now match up. So I now need a bit of extra text to explain why I've got the tiger in there. So here comes across a ferocious, hungry tiger. So I now have a decision to make. And my two choices are going to be, I'm going to say, run away, and I'm going to have stay very still. So those are the two decisions I'm going to make. What I need to do now is I need to make a page for each of those decisions. So we're going to go back, we're going to add a new page. So I'm going to put in a new slide. What I'm going to do, I'm going to finish this off. I'll bring you back when I'm ready to show you the next step. See you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I've added the extra 2 pages if I wanted. That then makes my decision process a bit easier. So what I've done, I've got 2 choices to make here. I've got run away and I've got stay very still. Now, just to recap how to add our text to our buttons, we double click on the box. So I'll just delete this one for now. and I'll show you from the beginning. So we double click, that brings the text arrow cursor in, and then we can just type back in what we want. So the two outcomes from this page I've got are, if I run away, I'm going to end up at this page. I run to safety, I've managed to escape from the tiger. There's two paths I can take. Am I going to go to the left? Am I going to go to the right? The other decision I made was I could stay very still. Hopefully the tiger won't see me. This ends up with me becoming dinner for the tiger, which is not a good outcome for our game. So that would be one of our dead ends that we can build into the game as part of the fun of it. So what we need to do is link our buttons onto our page. So to do that, we're going to select all of the text in this button, and I'm going to right click. That brings up this menu, and we've got one here that says link. I'm going to click on link, and it's going to bring up this menu. Now, quite often it will, when you first open it, it'll bring you up to this page. This is not the page we want. You'll see the second option on the left here is place in this document. I'm going to go for that one. And I know I need to go to slide 11. So I want this one to connect to slide 11. And it gives me a little preview here. So I'm going to press OK. What it does now is it underlines my text and it changes the color. That shows me that the link has been put in. Now, what I need to do with this button, I need to link it to page 12. So that's this one here where I end up being eaten by the tiger. So I'm going to highlight all of the text in this one, same as we did before. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to press link. Now this time when I go into it, it knows that I'm linking to places in this document. So it brings up my slide straight away. And I know that I want this to link to slide 12. So here we go. It shows me a preview of that slide there, just here, and I can press OK and it links that together. What we need to do now is test it. So I'm going to go back to slide 10. And if you go to the top, so along the orange bar I've got at the top, there's an option called slideshow. Click on that and go over to the left-hand side. You've got from the beginning or from the current slide. Now I know my links work from the beginning. I want to see that these links work from the current slide. So I'm going to go from this one. So Mr. Hill's journey continues. He comes across a ferocious, hungry tiger. I think this time I'm going to run away. So I hover my mouse over and you see the cursor changes from an arrow to a finger. That tells me the link's there and I can click on it. I click on that and it brings me onto my next page and I can continue my adventure. To check that the other one works, I'm going to press escape to come out of it. I'm going to go back to slide 10 where I need to start from. I'm going to go start from the current slide. This time I'm going to click on stay very still. So I've clicked on that one. Mr. Hill stands very still. The tiger walks over and begins to lick his lips in anticipation of a very tasty meal. And that's the end. So that's one of the dead ends that we've built into our slideshow. So the idea is that we'll have, by the time we finish putting these together, we will have a really exciting story that we can take everyone on. Thank you for watching Year 5. I'm really enjoying the work that you're putting together. I can't wait to see your finished projects.